Red Bull is collapsing and people are freaking out. And honestly, I'd argue that this freakout is pretty justified. But there's also a lot of rumors and bits of information that aren't as accurate. So let's go step by step. Here's what we do know. Gianpiero Lambiase, Verstappen's race engineer since 2016, is leaving Red Bull. And he's going to fucking McLaren of all places. So at McLaren, he'll be working under Andrea Stella as Chief Racing Officer. Now, this move won't happen until 2028, so think ends of 2027 to beginning of 2028. But do you know what else happens that year? Max's contract ends. So why is everyone freaking out so much? Good question. Let me answer it. Verstappen in past interviews hasn't just hinted. He's basically outright said, when GP goes, I go.
Wat voor gast is hij? Hoe belangrijk is hij voor je?
Ik heb tegen hem gezegd dat ik alleen met hem werk. Zodra hij stopt, stop ik ook.
Wauw.
Ja.
Now, GP isn't leaving the sport, but he is switching teams. Although there is a technicality, Verstappen technically didn't say, wherever GP goes, I go. He said, when he goes, I go. Yeah, okay, let's move on. But because GP is heading to McLaren and Max has made it clear he doesn't love the idea of racing without GP, people are coming up with some interesting predictions. So let's get into that. What we do not know. Out of all the theories online, the loudest one is this one. When Max's contract ends, he follows GP to McLaren. Now yes, his contract runs to 2028 and there are performance clauses that could let him leave earlier. So on paper it kind of makes sense. Except for one little problem. McLaren already has its golden duo, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. I genuinely don't understand how people could think that McLaren, the same team that refused to prioritize either of their drivers when they were fighting for the title, would be willing to choose between them to make room for Max Verstappen. Lando and Oscar have been with McLaren their whole F1 careers. They are the team. Honestly, I think most McLaren fans are as much a fan of theirs as they are fans of the team. And most importantly, they work together well. They have chemistry. They have no major drama, no issues on track or off track. And I would say that's pretty impressive. We didn't see them having major issues even when they were fighting for the championship, which is rare. Just think about the whole thing that went down with Lewis and Nico. And they were best friends. So because of that, I don't see McLaren choosing Verstappen over either of them. The only way that happens is if either of them decides to leave the team, which is already unlikely. But leaving to Red Bull, that's even less likely. At the moment, Red Bull doesn't look like a top team. If anything, it looks like a sinking ship people are trying to get off. And as for Max retiring, I don't buy it. He talks about it a lot, sure. But this is a guy who, whenever he isn't racing as a Formula 1 driver, he is spending his free time racing on the simulator or participating in other categories like endurance. That to me doesn't scream ready to retire. If anything, maybe a short break, like a 1-year hiatus, could happen, but even that feels like a bit of a stretch. So yeah, at the moment I don't think we should worry too much about Lando or Oscar being kicked out of the team. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.